How many browser tabs do you have open right now, or app windows? You probably have your email, you have various documents, and somewhere in the corner of your screen you have ChatGPT or Claude, or maybe even both. You have been copying things back and forth between them all day. A draft email, a summary for a document, a meeting recap, a clean condition memo from a borrower's tax return. Now ask yourself the question every CEO and IT director should be asking right now. Why are we copying and pasting context into AI when AI could just live inside our context? Microsoft just answered that question for community banks, credit unions, and mortgage lenders. And they made the math irresistible. For $10 more per user per month, you get ChatGPT and Claude, both inside Microsoft 365. Reading your emails in place, reading your documents in place, your meetings in place. No copy, no paste, no prompt trail in a personal browser tab. Just AI where the work already is. That is the productivity play, the security play, and as I'm about to walk you through, the examiner play too. The offer runs through June 30th. For institutions of up to 300 users, this is roughly 67% less than what Microsoft charged for the same product 2 years ago. The license at $10 increment is easy. That's the easy part. Whether the buy actually pays off comes down to 3 questions, and they line up the way an entrepreneur, a CEO, or a CFO would actually ask them. Today, I'm walking through all 3. I'm Justin Kirsch with Access Business Technologies, the largest Tier 1 Microsoft Cloud solution provider for community banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies. We manage Microsoft 365 tenants for more than 750 financial institutions. Let me show you what we tell every one of those buyers when they ask. Should we add Copilot before June 30th? Here is what Microsoft's own research warns and what most buyer guides leave out. Organizations that license Copilot and then drop it on a desktop with no rollout plan see weekly active usage stall in the single digits after paying for the license. That is why the buy and pray pattern is what produces the line item on the invoice with no productivity outcome behind it. The institutions that run a structured 30-day adoption sprint reach sustained weekly active rates above 60% by the end of the sprint. The difference between those 2 outcomes is not the license, it is the rollout. So before we talk about pricing math, before we talk about which path to buy, you have to understand that Copilot is not a product you turn on. It is a capability that requires a structured deployment to actually move productivity at your institution. 3 questions stack up the way that a buyer would ask them. Question 1, does your team adopt it and produce measurable productivity outcomes? Does Copilot actually work in your shop? Question 2, can you keep customer non-public information safe while staff use Copilot? No shadow AI leaks, no compromised credentials turning Copilot into an exfiltration tool. And question 3, can you withstand an examiner asking what AI controls do you have in place? 3 questions, the answers lead to 3 different parts of the buying decision. Let me walk you through each. But before any of that, let me clear up the most common confusion I hear from buyers. When you hear Microsoft Copilot, there are 3 different products wearing the same name. That is where the confusion comes from. The free Copilot at copilot.microsoft.com, the one you might have used at home on your personal browser. That one is a general purpose AI chatbot. It searches the public web, it generates images, It does not read your bank's email. It does not read your credit union's files. It does not know anything about your mortgage company's tenant. And critically, when an employee uses it, it's signed in with their personal Microsoft account. Your institution does not have a contact with Microsoft for that data. Number 2, Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. This one is free with any Microsoft 365 commercial subscription you already pay for, like Business Standard or Business Premium. When your employees sign in with their work account, they get a green shield in the corner of the chat window. This is Microsoft's enterprise data protection. Prompts and responses run inside the Microsoft 365 service boundary. They are logged for audit and e-discovery. Microsoft does not use them to train foundation models. But here's the part that surprises people. Copilot Chat is grounded in the public web. By default, it does not read your tenants' emails, your shared drives, or your Teams chats. Number 3, Microsoft 365 Copilot Business, the paid one. The license you buy on top of your existing Microsoft 365 plan. That is the version that actually reads through your institution's email, your shared documents, your meeting transcripts, and your Teams conversations to draft a reply, summarize the meeting you missed, or pull together the talking points for tomorrow's board prep. That is the version that lights up the Copilot button inside of Word, inside of Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. The paid Microsoft 365 Copilot comes in 2 flavors with an identical AI under the hood. If you have fewer than 300 users on a business plan, you buy Microsoft 365 Copilot Business, $21 a user a month, on promotion right now for $18. That's through the end of June. If you are a larger institution on E3 or E5, you buy Microsoft 365 Copilot, and it's $30 a user a month. Same AI, different sticker, different cap, different qualifying plan. So when an MSP pitches you Copilot, the question to ask is, which of the 3? Because 2 of them are already free with what you have, and 1 of them is the actual Word and Excel Outlook integration that does the work. One important footnote: as of April 15th, 2026, Microsoft removed the free Copilot chat from inside of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote for users without a paid license. The free web version still exists at copilot.microsoft.com, but the in-app button inside the productivity apps, that is a paid feature now. Buyers evaluating in 2026 are choosing between paid Copilot and no in-app Copilot. The free in-app option is gone. Now, let me give you the brief history of how Microsoft 365 Copilot got from $30 to $10 incremental in 30 months. Microsoft 365 Copilot went generally available November 2023. List price was about $30 a user per month. It was scoped to Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 customers with a 300-seat minimum purchase and a 1-year annual commit. For a community bank with 80 employees, the math did not work. For a 30-person mortgage lender, it was not a conversation. Less than 11 weeks after launch, Microsoft scrapped the 300-seat minimum. The same SKU opened to Business Standard and Business Premium customers. Then in December 2025, Microsoft did something more interesting. They released a small business-specific SKU, Microsoft 365 Copilot Business, $21 standalone list price, the promotional discount to $18 through June 30th. And here is the part that changed everything. Microsoft introduced a cloud solution provider bundle, Business Premium plus Copilot at $32 per user per month combined. Compare that to Business Premium alone at $22. The incremental cost of adding the full Copilot Business product on top of what you are already paying is just $10 per user per month. The bundle is the best deal of the 3. The bundle promo runs through June 30th, but after July 1st, the same bundle continues at $43 per user per month. Locking in the $32 bundle today saves $11 per user per month. That's 25% off the post-promo bundle for the duration of your committed term. Quick word on what Copilot Business actually is. Copilot for Microsoft 365 is not one product. It is 6 surfaces inside the Microsoft 365 applications your team already uses every day. Copilot in Word, drafts and rewrites long-form documents. Copilot in Excel, builds formulas, summarizes data, generates charts in plain language. Copilot in Outlook, drafts replies, summarizes long email threads, surfaces action items. Copilot in Teams, generates meeting recaps with action items. Copilot in PowerPoint, drafts decks from a Word document or a meeting transcript. And the biggest unlock for institutions, Microsoft 365 Chat, the Copilot surface that reasons across all your tenant documents, emails, and meetings at once. 2 things matter here for buyers. First, Copilot only reasons over content the user already has access to inside of Microsoft 365. If a junior loan officer cannot open an executive HR document in SharePoint today, Copilot will not surface them either. The data boundary is the user's existing permissions. Second, Copilot is not OpenAI ChatGPT. This model is from OpenAI, but the data path is Microsoft's commercial Azure infrastructure with contractual data handling commitments suitable for regulated industries. Microsoft does not train its commercial AI models on tenant data. That is in the Microsoft Service Trust Portal. Now we get to the question every CISO at a financial institution asks first. Picture this, it's Friday afternoon. A loan processor at your shop has a borrower's full underwriting package open on her screen. Social Security number, credit report, 2 years of tax returns, bank statements. She does not have a paid Copilot license at the bank yet, but she remembers using the free Copilot at home. So she opens her personal browser tab, signs in with her personal Microsoft account, pastes the underwriting summary in, asks for a clean condition memo. 15 seconds later, and she gets a beautiful memo back. She copies it into the file. Done. Here's what just happened from your bank's perspective. That borrower's non-public information just left your regulatory perimeter. It went to a Microsoft service your bank does not have a contract with. It is governed by Microsoft's Consumer Services Agreement, not your data processing addendum. Your CISO has no audit log of it. Your sensitivity labels did not apply. Your data loss prevention rules did not trigger. And when an examiner asks where that data went, your bank cannot answer because your bank was not the data controller in that exchange. The loan processor was on her own personal account. That is shadow AI. It is not theoretical. It is happening right now in most financial institutions that have not licensed real Copilot. Here's what most buyers miss. This fix is not blocking AI. The examiner actually expects you to enable it now. The fix is licensing real Copilot with the work account, with the green shield. So the same prompt your loan processor wanted to ask stays inside your tenant boundary. The audit log captures the interaction. The sensitivity labels travel with the response. Your data loss prevention rules watch what gets echoed back. The data processing addendum covers the exchange. Same productivity, different perimeter. To make that perimeter hold, there are 5 Microsoft 365 control surfaces examiners now expect to see configured before Copilot ever touches non-public information. Number 1, Microsoft Purview Data Loss Prevention, the watcher that flags non-public information patterns the moment Copilot tries to echo them. Number 2, Microsoft Purview Information Protection sensitivity labels with encryption that travels with the document wherever it goes. Number 3, Microsoft Purview Audit, 12 months of logs covering Copilot prompts and responses for whenever the examiner asks. Number 4, Microsoft Entra ID Conditional Access, MFA and Managed Device requirements before Copilot opens. Number 5, Microsoft Defender for cloud apps, the shadow AI discovery service that catches the next Friday afternoon detour before the data leaves your tenant. Skip number 5 and the loan processor scenario I just walked through. You will not see it on any log. You will not know it happened. You will not have an answer when the examiner asks. The CFPB has issued circulars under ECOA putting lenders on notice that the model is a black box, is not a defense. The OCC has published bulletins on third-party AI risk. Freddie Mac's AI governance requirements take effect March 3rd, or I should say, already on Microsoft 365 Business Premium. The incremental cost of adding Copilot through the bundle is $10 per user per month. For a 30-person mortgage lender, that's only $3,600 a year. A loan officer fully loaded cost is roughly $46 per hour. Copilot only needs to save each adopting user about 13 minutes a month for the license cost alone to pay for itself. 13 minutes a month, roughly 3 minutes a week. Microsoft's own Work Trend Index research puts actual user time savings at 14 minutes per day. The Forrester Total Economic Impact Study commissioned by Microsoft modeled 9 productive hours saved per user per month for the composite enterprise organization. Either figure clears the break-even bar by more than an order of magnitude. Here is the takeaway every CFO needs to hear. The real constraint on Copilot return on investment is not the license price. The license is $10 incremental. The real constraint is the adoption rate. If your team uses Copilot, the math works overwhelmingly. If your team does not use it, the license is in line with no return. Here is how ABT turns the rollout. Same 5 components for every customer, 30 days from kickoff to executive return on investment readout. Day 1. Kickoff workshop with your leadership and your IT lead. We pressure test the governance configuration. If any of the 5 Microsoft Purview, Entra ID, or Defender controls are missing at kickoff, is the moment to fix them before the rollout. Day 2 through 5, the champion enablement. We identify 2 to 4 internal champions per role. They serve as peer support during rollout. Champions are the multiplier that takes the adoption from people had a training call to the team uses it every day. Day 6 through 30, role-based scenario library. We adopt Microsoft's published financial services scenarios to your institutions. Actual loan summary format, your processor's conditions list, your underwriter's credit memo template. Days 11 through 25, weekly office hours. We work the actual prompts that produced bad output and fix them. We document the prompts that work for the rest of the team. Day 30, executive ROI readout. Adoption metrics from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Scenario success rates, time-saving estimates, recommendations for the next quarter. Same license, different outcomes. 2 more things you should know if you are evaluating ABT. First, mortgage lenders. We have built ABT MortgageGuide Copilot, a mortgage-specific Copilot agent that was purpose-built on Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. It's indexed against Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, and USDA underwriting guidelines, with a nightly refresh of guideline updates. It's currently in beta, available exclusively to ABT customers as part of a Copilot training engagement. When your underwriter asks Copilot for a Freddie Mac guideline question at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the agent reasons against the current guidelines, not against last quarter's PDF copies sitting in SharePoint. Second, ABT is running a Copilot Pilot Pack offer through June 30th. Existing ABT Microsoft 365 customers receive the AI Readiness Assessment at no additional charge during 2026. The Tier 1 Cloud Solution Provider relationship is the qualifier. If your tenant is currently with a different cloud solution provider, you can still qualify by adding 11 or more new Copilot seats through ABT. Microsoft allows multiple cloud solutions provider partners on the same tenant. ABT just becomes one of your CSPs alongside whoever you already have today. No license transfers are needed. If you are running a community bank, a credit union, or a mortgage company with somewhere between 30 and 300 employees, the question is not whether Copilot is worth $10 incremental. It probably is. The question is whether you have the configuration in place to deploy it without earning regulators' attention, and whether you have the rollout plan to actually move adoption. Here is the way I think about it. Productivity is the goal. That is what you are buying when you add Copilot. Security is what protects that productivity. That is the 5 control configuration. That is the difference between Copilot inside your parameter and Copilot leaking data through the back door. And once productivity and security are in place, governance, passing the examiner, gets easy. Because the examiner is not testing your policy deck. The examiner is testing your configuration, and your configuration is already done. Both of those conversations we have every day. The full buyer's guide, the pricing math worked through, the 5 examiner-ready control surfaces, and how the 30-day sprint runs are all in the blog post linked in the description. The link to talk to one of the financial services specialists about Copilot is also in the description. I'm Justin Kirsch. See you in the next one.